All grace abounds when there is generous giving. All grace. 2 Corinthians 9 verse 8. It said God will cause all grace. Let me show you some of the all grace so that you will see. There is a grace that imparts wisdom. And these are channels of supernatural wealth and financial empowerment. Anybody you see who commands financial fortune, there's a wisdom at work in his life. That wisdom is what creates the products and the possibilities that attracts wealth. And so one of the things all grace does is to impart a wisdom that men cannot gainsay, and a wisdom that makes for witty invention. In 1 Kings chapter 3 verse 4 to 5 and verse 9 to 12, you read the story of Solomon. The Bible said, and the king went to Gibeon to sacrifice there, for that was the great high place. 1,000 burnt offerings did Solomon offer upon that altar. Verse 5. And he said, in Gibeon, the moment he gave, he said, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night, and God asked him, what will I give thee? While others are telling God, give me this, God is asking son, what will I give you? But what provoked this? He gave 1,000 burnt offering. God saw it as sacrifice. Immediately, even though he was not conscious of receiving, God came to tell him, make a demand. And Solomon, in verse 9, after making the demand, you know, the guy was so blessed. See, he was so blessed that even when God asked him what he wanted, he didn't ask for money. He said, give me wisdom to judge your people, my God. And God said, you didn't ask for money, you didn't ask for the head of your enemies. He said, because you have done this, he said, I will give you wisdom. When you see the wealth of Solomon, it is wisdom that powers it. People travel from different nations to come and hear the wisdom. And when they are coming with camels full of gold. They are coming with donkeys full of silver, just to come and hear the wisdom. When I was a young minister, I thought when the deaf ears start opening, God will raise partners. I was so naive. I thought when I started praying in tongues for 10 hours, for 20 hours, God will raise people to advance the vision. I was naive. God told me the key to wealth is wisdom. The key. That's why you see many people who communicate wisdom, only kings hear them. Only kings. They sit down to listen to that wisdom so they can apply it to improve their world. And so when God wants to empower you, he begins to download wisdom into you. When you talk, your words become a roadmap to people. When you talk, your words become an answer to their many years question. When you talk, your words unravel the puzzles of their destiny. And while they are listening to you, they are just making progress. Because of that progress they are making, they return. And every time they return, they come with the heart of gratitude. Wisdom. When grace begins to walk in your life, in the corridor of giving, one of the things he opens you up to is wisdom. Many people are where they are because they lack wisdom. And the key to this kind of wisdom is not just to ask God, give me wisdom. It's not just to read a book. It's to tap into all grace. When you ask God, he can give. When you read, you can find. But when you give, God will insist that you have it. The second dimension of all grace is favor. When God allows this grace to work in your life, I wish I had time to talk about favor. Hope you know what made an archangel to visit Mary was not intercession. When the angel Gabriel came, he said, you are highly favored. That means favor provokes encounters. Hope you know the reason Esther was able to save the children of God in her day and time was not because she was beautiful. It was because of favor. In Esther chapter 5 verse 2, he said the king looked at her and found favor. She found favor with the king. And the king asked her, what do you want? He said, even if it is up to half of my kingdom, I will give you. Favor sponsors wealth. Financial empowerment is a function of favor, but this favor is a kind of grace that giving sponsors. In Exodus chapter 12 verse 36, it said God gave favor to the Israelites. He said they spoiled the Egyptian. Please don't get me wrong. Hard work is good, diligence is good, but everybody works hard. Everybody is diligent, including the godless people. What is our advantage? Our advantage are the graces that we carry, and one of it is favor. Some people look at you and they assume, you are intelligent. You will be shocked. Nobody gives you anything because you are intelligent. Rather, when they see you, they think you are a threat. They see you as a competitor and they fight you. The reason a man will break protocols to support you is because there's a grace on your life. That grace is called favor. And one of the ways of activating it is by giving. I'm telling you this because most of us, we need to handle sensitive authorities and positions where we need beyond our credentials, where we need favor on our lives. And it's giving. He said God will cause all grace. Favor is one of all grace.